Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is your boy Coozco, and I am bringing you another Destiny 2 build video here today. And the build video of choice this time is a Verity's Brow arc build. And with this build, we will basically have infinite grenades, infinite jolt, as well as an infinite grenade damage buff. Starting off, of course, we will go over what Verity's Brow actually does. As you get a kill with a weapon that has a damage type matching your subclass, which will be arc for us, it will provide a damage boost to your grenade that stacks up to 5 times. These stacks are called death throws, and with each stack that we are getting off of these arc weapon kills, it will give us a 20% damage boost to our grenades, as well as a 50% increase to grenade regeneration. This is a total of 100% damage increase for your grenades and a 200% base increase for your grenades. And if we stack this with a couple of aspects and a couple of mods, we can make our pulse grenade and our lightning grenade, as well as a couple other grenades that I will go over because I did a lot of damage testing for this build. First of all, I will go over the build that you are seeing on screen and what I am using, because this is what I found to be the best for ad clear, survivability, and just everything else in general. First of all, for our abilities, we are using Healing Rift because there are not too many ways to heal while you are using the arc subclass. Next, I like to use ball lightning just because it travels a little bit farther than chain lightning. Go ahead and use whatever you want, honestly. And for our grenades, if you are running ad clear, or honestly if you are doing boss damage, pulse grenade is just more consistent. With lightning grenade, sure, it does do a lot of damage, however it's harder to get a good placement with this grenade, and you will notice that especially when you are trying to clear ads. It is much easier to just chuck a pulse grenade at someone's foot and watch everyone that is nearby just get electrocuted over and over. Whereas the lightning grenade, if you throw it at an enemy, sometimes it will get destroyed right away, and if you don't stick it to a surface correctly, it will be pointed in the wrong direction, making the grenade completely useless. As for our aspects, we are running Arc Soul and Electrostatic Mine. Of course, Arc Soul, we have that Arc Soul every single time we create our rift, and while we are amplified, our Arc Soul is supercharged and gains increased fire rate. Whereas Electrostatic Mine, defeating targets with arc abilities or defeating jolted or blinded targets creates an ionic trace. Collecting an ionic trace makes you amplified. On the fragment side of things, we have Spark of Ions, Spark of Shock, Spark of Discharge, and Spark of Magnitude. Obviously, Spark of Ions for the ionic traces whenever we defeat jolted targets. We need ionic traces, especially if we don't have our grenade. Obviously, you can just get kills for your grenade, but ionic traces just makes it 10 times easier. As for Spark of Shock, your arc grenades jolt targets. Yes, this does have a -10 to discipline, but honestly, you will not notice it, and I am still able to run 10 discipline even with this subtraction, so I am sure you will be fine. Moving on to Spark of Discharge, arc weapon final blows have a chance to create ionic traces. Of course, more ionic traces. This is great. And then the last but not least, this is literally the most important fragment to put on. Use Spark of Magnitude, because this increases your grenade damage basically by 200%, just because your grenades last for so much longer while you are using this fragment. So if you're wondering why your build isn't doing as much as mine, check and make sure that you have this on. Moving on to the armor mods, here is everything that I am running. Of course, we need the harmonic siphons for the orbs of power that we are creating, and you need the double grenade kickstart as well, just for the uptime on your grenade. And then the last 3 mods I wanted to make sure that you have on is Charged Up, Stacks on Stacks, as well as Reaper. If you need my artifact mods, these are all you need. There's not too many arc artifact mods that you can put on, so go ahead and just put this on. And also just put on Shattering Orbs, just in case you break an arc shield, you just create an extra orb of power. Another thing I wanted to go over is weapon synergy. If you are like me and you want to still do the maximum amount of boss damage that you possibly can, go ahead and just put on a hot head on honestly, but if you want to still do ad clear and you want to be consistent, Thunderlord is the best option for you. It is just so consistent with the jolt damage, and combined with pulse grenade, you will have so much going on, and any enemy that is nearby, a boss that you are shooting, is just going to get chain lightninged over and over. Other exotics that are very good with this build are the Fourth Horseman as well as Trespasser, and I also found that Tractor Cannon is fun. However, when I was doing damage testing, the Tractor Cannon did mess up some of the numbers, and I will go over that in the damage testing part of the video, but it still works with pulse grenade. So if you are running pulse grenade, Tractor Cannon is also very good. As for weapons that aren't exotics, if you have a Volt Shot weapon that is arc, use it. Volt Shot is incredible, especially on the sidearm that Zur was selling a couple weeks ago. If you have this, the Brigand's Law, it is so good. Or if you have a iterative loop with Volt Shot, whatever weapon you have with Volt Shot is going to be great with this build. Also, Osmosis primaries are very good because it makes you have 3 arc weapons technically, since we are always using our grenade. As long as you have this weapon out while you throw your grenade, it will change to arc damage, and every time you get a kill, you will activate your death throws, stacking up to 5. And of course, my favorite weapons to use with this are demolitionist weapons. Any demolitionist weapons you have are great. I honestly recommend a heavy weapon. If you have an LMG with demolitionist on it, it is incredible for this build. I am telling you, if you use demolitionist with this build, you will have grenades forever, and that is why it is my favorite thing to run with this build. As for the damage testing that we did, there are honestly only a couple grenades I would like to talk about, just because these are the only ones that actually do some sort of good consistent damage, and those are obviously the pulse grenade, the lightning grenade, and I don't think you would think of this, but the void wall grenade as well as the void spike grenade. But I will be going over the void grenades in another build because I will definitely use Verity's Brow on other builds. However, the lightning grenade does do incredible amounts of damage. However, the Tractor Cannon does not give it the numbers that it should be hitting for. As you can see, without the Tractor Cannon, I am hitting for over 80,000 every single pulse. And with these lightning grenade pulses, you have 5 total pulses. So with this over 80,000 times 5 pulses, you will get a little bit over 400k. However, with the Tractor Cannon, every time I did testing with this thing, I was only getting 67,000 plus around 8,000, which is around 5,000 less damage than what it does without the Tractor Cannon debuff. Now with the pulse grenade, it was kind of weird because I was seeing some crazy damage numbers, and then all of a sudden I switched to the Tractor Cannon and I swear I was doing less, but then I switched back to not using the Tractor Cannon and I got damage numbers of the pulse grenade doing around 30,000 every pulse without a Tractor Cannon debuff, and then with the Tractor Cannon debuff, it was doing around 36,000 every pulse, give or take. So this is still doing incredible amounts of damage. However, you can decide which one you want to use. If you want to use a demolitionist like me and just run that legendary machine gun instead of running that exotic Tractor Cannon, and you can use your exotic for another slot, or if you like that extra little bit of damage that it's really giving you, then go ahead and put that Tractor Cannon on. You're going to be helping you and your team out, especially if you don't have a tether. It works either way. With that being said, this is basically it for the build. I hope you all enjoyed, and if this video did help you out, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help me to push out more videos. And as always, before I get out of here, be sure to appreciate everything and everyone you have around you. I love you all. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of the gameplay.